Hey everyone, it's TB Shores. I'm back. It's July the 13th, 2020. It's 9:53 p.m. Okay, we're just going to look briefly at the last video I did. I spoke about how the Lord is pointing the way. What I mean by that, I want to elaborate and get into sharing some details, is how He is pointing little by little at things, showing me, oh my goodness, in so many different ways, the same thing, and how they all connect, how it connects with. It's all about right now. This 3-week period and understanding what lies within is about understanding becoming incorruptible. It's about understanding being done with the flesh. How that points us to Christ on the cross. There's so many things it connects to, and it all falls within discussion of this 3 weeks that we are in right now. That began on July the 9th, at the Feast of Tammuz, when it began. And remember, the Lord had pointed me to July 10th. There is a reason for that, and it was every time I said every time I asked him about it, I would hear on the morrow. On the morrow means time thereafter, or time to come. And so he's pointing us further down the calendar, but I believe within this time frame, the month of July, basically. And if you look on my community section of my channel, you will find a prophetic word by Henry Falcone entitled July's Epic Change. And this speaks so much to what the Lord is showing me. And I may get into, at some point, tying in things that's in this word in with what the Lord has been giving me. But right now, we're going to look at something that is a marker in time. It's a marker in time about helping us to understand that this time frame is about putting off the flesh, this outer layer, putting this flesh off, being done with the flesh, and becoming incorruptible, and becoming that light for the Lord. So the Lord showed me something in a very kind of awesome but unusual way. It is a sign in the heavens. So, and we are told to watch for the signs in the heavens. So we're just going to jump right to that, okay? Now, I want to talk about this comet Neowise. Now, obviously, this last part, wise, immediately my mind races to Matthew 25 about the wise and the foolish virgins, and how the wise were the ones that were ready, the foolish were not. This is where judgment begins in the house of God, because all these people, all these virgins, all 10 in this parable, they were watching for the bridegroom. They were watching and waiting for the bridegroom. Of course, that's Christ. And the wise were ready, and they went into the marriage, and the foolish were not, and they did not go into the marriage. Now, we know that if you're watching and waiting for the bridegroom, then you are part of the church. And so not everyone that is in the church is ready. That's why there has to be a harvest process, because they've got to be brought in, so to speak, as in a harvest. They've got to be, there's a time they have to come through to grow and mature and become ready, and then they will be harvested. And Jesus spoke about harvesting and all kinds of things like that when he was on this earth. So you people that don't think that harvesting is a part of these end times, you need to get, in the Bible and seek the Holy Spirit for understanding. But anyway, as we look at Neo-wise, and we understand the wise, they were the ones that had oil. And to have the oil, when you look at that parable, to have the oil in your lamp means you are ready for the light, okay? You're ready for the light. You're ready to be lit so that you can burn and bring that light, okay? It is so amazing how God lays things out. Anyway, so as we look at Neo-wise, we see that it can connect us to Matthew 25 and the wise and the foolish and those that are ready. And as I explain what is within this article, you're going to see more of how this connects. Now, we're going to look at the other part of the name before we get into this article. Neo. Now, when we look at Neo, we see here I pulled up the best thing I could find on definitions of the name of Neo, what it means. Okay, in the Finnish meaning, Neo means new and gift. In the Swedish meaning, Neo means new. In the Greek meaning, Neo means new life and gift. And this right here just absolutely speaks to what the Lord is about to bestow on us. A gift is something that is given, something that is bestowed upon you, okay? So the Lord is fixing to gift us with all that He has promised, and that gift will bring the new life that we have been waiting for. So as you can see, this comet, Neo-wise, its name even speaks to what we're talking about, okay? I just want to make note here, it is connected to our July 22nd date. Now, if you remember, July 22nd is the first of Av, and I had the dream that Av kept coming up in my view, was pointing me to the month of Av. Also, I think I've mentioned this before, but I want to note that on the 22nd, beginning with the 22nd, the first of Av, okay, becomes a more intense mourning period. This 3 weeks that begins with Tammuz 17th or July the 9th. This 3-week period ends on Av the 9th. So on Av the 1st, they start and it's a mourning period. It's in remembrance of the destruction of the temple. That's very important. It's in remembrance of the destruction of the temple. Okay? And these last 9 days, where the month of Av begins, is a very intense mourning period that they go into. These last 9 days. Now we're going to look at the number 9. The number 9 is very significant in some of the things that I have to explain. So as we look at July the 22nd, we see it also connects with our Neo-wise. Now, I want to come down here to, let me back up just a little. I think I missed something I wanted to point out. No, it's a little further down. There it is. Okay. Its journey around the sun and its closest passage to the sun was on July 3rd. Okay. Now, July 3rd, we're going to pop back over here to the calendar, is 7 days before the date of July 10th that the Lord had me to count to with the second counting of the Omer. Okay. So that's 7-day difference from the 3rd to the 10th, which my point in bringing that up is 7 is a pattern that God uses. It's a pattern number that God uses. Okay. It's very, very important that we remember that everything that God shows us, He teaches us through. He teaches us through Bible dates. And you got to remember these Bible dates, the way they are phrased, can allow them to be used on any calendar. God is not restrained by calendars or time. And as L. Lott points out a lot of times in her videos, she's laying different calendars down, and the Lord is showing her different things by laying different calendars together. So the Lord is working in all this together. He uses all the calendars, and we need to remember that. And the way that the dates are listed in the Bible, because it'll say like the 10th day of the 3rd month, something like that. It's not giving you a specific month. It's telling you a day of a specific month as it is counted, like the 1st month, 2nd month, 3rd month. So you can lay these dates on different calendars, and God show you different things. It depends on what He wants to show you, and we need to remember that. It is all about God's patterns, and these patterns are everywhere, okay? It's just a matter of seeking Him and Him pointing things out to you and you seeking to understand it. Now, okay, I pointed out last that July 3rd was 7 days from the date of July 10th that the Lord had given me. If we scroll down a little bit further, I mean, that might be where I was at. Oh, this is where I wanted to be. Okay, so this is its closest passage by the sun. Now, note what this says. It says, the close passage by the sun burned up Neowise's outermost layer. And, you know, spiritually speaking, that makes me think about the flesh for us spiritually, knowing that we are in this time of incorruptibility coming soon. This is about God showing us a marker in the heavens as to where we are. We are at the point of losing this flesh and becoming incorruptible. Listen to what this says. The close passage by the sun burned up Neowise's outermost layer, causing gas and dust particles to fall off its icy surface, creating a long tail of debris. So it's about the sun, S-O-N, burning off the flesh from us. That's what He's been doing, but He's fixing to complete that, okay? When you come down here and you read this next paragraph, it says the comet reached the far side of the sun early last month and managed to survive the intense roasting in spite of the close approach. Okay, they seem surprised that Neowise survived this intense heat, okay, because it goes on to say, while several comets rarely survive the sun's intense, listen to this, the sun's intense light and heat. It's not something that comets usually survive, okay? And when you look at that through spiritual eyes and you see S-O-N and the light of the Son of God, and the heat being the trials and the burning off the dross, the burning off the unclean things to make us pure and to make us more like Him. When you look at it through those eyes, you can start to see how this Neowise comet is our marker to let us know we are at that time of becoming incorruptible, okay? And then it goes on to say that after Neowise came through this intense light and heat, it emerged from the ordeal brighter than before, startling space scientists in the process. So they are stunned and startled at what has happened with this comet, because it came close to the sun. That's what we do. We get close to the Son of God, to Jesus, and it's burning off the flesh and the things of this world, okay? And soon we're to lose that outermost layer. from what he's fixing to do in us and through us, okay? Uh, and we will emerge, just as this says about this comet, we will emerge from this, what the Lord is fixing to do. We will emerge brighter than before. We will shine for him brighter than we have before. And I hope that you can clearly see how this neowise, this sign in the heavens, is a marker for us to understand, yes, we are at the time of putting off the flesh and shining for him, becoming incorruptible. I'm going to cut this off here and we'll pick up with something else in the next video. I love y'all. Bye-bye.